Me on, that'll help.
Turn me on, that'll help.
Turn me on, that'll help.
We're nice guys.
We're nice guys. We're cool guys. We're cool guys. Turn me on, that'll help. That's what we're going to do, like a little... That's going to be like clipped in. Turn me on, that'll help. That'll be one of the things that are unknown for saying.
Oh, yeah.
Turn me on, that'll help.
We should get shirts. We should get shirts and say, turn me on, that'll help. And people will be like, oh yeah, what's that shirt? And the other person's like, oh, do you know the Sausage Boys? And they're like, yeah, I'm actually a massive fan. And they're like, oh yeah, it's from that one time they said it at the beginning of that one episode.
At the start of the episode, it wasn't even like in context or anything. They just started off.
What's up, everybody?
Hello.
Welcome to the Cool Guys podcast.
This is the Cool Guys podcast right now.
This is your host, the South Coast poster child, Jackson Grant. And with me, as always, is
the other cool guy, Terry Crews of Sydney.
the steamroller, ladies and gentlemen.
Pulling up to a platform near you to ruin a conversation.
Kareem Diallo.
Hello.
How the hell are you?
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm very nice. Very on edge today. Very on edge with the whole... We've had a bit of a discussion earlier, but it is a public holiday. I did wake up late and I was looking for a cafe and nothing was open.
Why is there so many public holidays now? It feels like it's only public holidays.
How about we have a day where we work?
Yeah.
That could be good.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you want some work with your public holidays?
That'd be nice, yeah.
I'm sick of it. I'm really sick of it.
I'm sick of not going to work. I'm sick of... I mean, I'm not complaining, but I don't get why there is so many.
I can't understand. I don't understand what this one's really for. Is it for the Queen? This isn't for the Queen, or the other one was for the Queen. This one was going to happen.
This one was going to happen. So the other one was because the Queen died?
True, and that's why. I think that was out of nowhere. It was a public holiday if I die. Where's my public holiday?
We're talking about... realizing that you're old.
Realizing that we're old. Yes. It's a scary feeling.
So I was saying about going to Jack Harlow.
Yeah.
And that kind of being... Yeah, I spoke about it on the episode where you weren't here. But basically, my girlfriend buys me a ticket for my birthday.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, that's great. That'll be cool. And then...
By yourself, just one ticket or two? You're going to go together?
Two. So one for me, one for her. Which is great. Like, it's a great...
Do you like Jack Harlow that much? Really?
Yeah, well, I mean, best presents are things you wouldn't get for yourself necessarily, you know?
Yeah, even if you had the
money, had the day off. So, yeah.
Bad presents are great.
Well, that's what I was saying. Like, I got my dad a ticket to Louis C.K.
Oh, yes.
And it's so funny to think, like, he doesn't live in Sydney.
Yeah.
So it's such a pain in the ass present. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
Like, you're going to have to drive a couple hours for your present.
Does he like Louis C.K. enough, do you think, to warrant the drive? Like, is this someone he's frothing over?
Yeah, he'll enjoy it.
Okay, in the same sort of way.
Yeah.
He goes there and he's like...
I'm too old for this.
So you go to Jack Easy, and your gal.
My gal buys me a ticket, one for herself.
So great 2 tickets to paradise. She gives you your birthday present. She's like, 2 tickets to paradise.
Yeah.
Jack Harlow. And you're like, oh, thanks.
Wouldn't it be funny if right before... my sister did this for my dad one time.
Yeah.
Like, he's a big fan of music and whatever. I've never heard him mention The Doors, the band The Doors.
Okay, yeah.
And we talk about music all the time. And she buys him a picture, like a A2 poster of, what's his name? Jim Morrison?
Yes.
With his shirt off.
Yeah. That's very...
And my dad opens it. And he's normally great at receiving presents that he doesn't even want. Like, he'll be like, oh, thank you so much. But he opened it and he was like, oh, yeah.
Dang.
Like, he just showed.
Dang.
She's like, well, you don't like it? He's like, it's kind of gay.
But he's like, aren't you kind of gay?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a huge... Yeah, giving a man a photo of another man with his shirt off is pretty presumptuous.
But yeah, it's bad.
That's very presumptuous.
But yeah, so she buys me the ticket, and then two of her friends also come
Yeah.
to
The Jack Easy.
yeah,
Yeah.
two chicks.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, great. I'm going to see this guy who girls love.
Girls do love him. Girls, mainly.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm like, this is great.
And Zoomer boys with that
And they're
fluffy hair.
They're cool people,
Mm.
you know, to hang out with. So I'm like, all right, this is sweet. And then we get there, and it's literally like 95% women.
Dang.
And I'm like, okay, fantastic. And they're all very young too. So I'm like, sick. I get to watch my girlfriend and her two friends. I'm like a chaperone.
Yeah, yeah. Would it be different if you were single? I wonder. Do you think guys are going
Yeah, I'd have
to...
the liberty to froth out as well.
Right. So there's a sea full of women.
Yeah, and he's like singing to them.
Oh, dang. Oh,
So
he's
it's like-
singing. Since when did he even sing? I don't even remember him singing.
Oh, he's like rapping to them.
Oh, he's rapping. I thought he was like doing like a whole thing where he's like, I put you in first class. Yeah, you right there. I put you in first class. And
He's like, he goes, all right, ladies, who's here with your man tonight?
yeah.
Woo! And who here is single? Woo! And it goes crazy, and I'm just like, yeah.
Good. He's like, who here is with their man tonight but would rather be with me later
Yeah,
tonight?
exactly.
And then she goes, woo! Nothing? That's a funny one.
Who here got their boyfriend a ticket to this concert as a ploy, so you got to bring your friends? Nah, I'm joking. No, she knows I do really like Jack Harlow, so thanks, thanks, babe.
Do you know who I saw, which is a really interesting one?
Yeah.
Meg the Stallion has a concert.
Mm-hmm.
You don't like black women, but this is for people who appreciate black women and find Meg the Stallion attractive.
I don't know where you're getting that from.
I'm just getting it from a personal conversation before the show.
I want to be that guy from now on.
I like this. We just become a completely different episode. I mean, a completely different show. We have like new sorts of humor.
Yeah, we get someone to operate the camera and zoom in when we look at.
But yeah, Meg the Stallion. Now she's going to be an interesting one because what happens? It's a female rapper who makes music for kind of women, but also she wears very provocative clothing. So if you were just a guy who's like a bit of a creep, hasn't been to a strip club before, you could go there almost for sexual gratification. Going to the Meg the Stallion show for sexual gratification. Because she is going to be basically wearing like a G-string. She's going to be twerking non-stop. And you're just going to stare at this woman on stage, shake her body for an hour and a half.
There's just a guy in the audience with an erection. And it's like, hey, get out of here, creep. And then you see that he's also got hearing aids.
That'd be good if a whole bunch of like cool, creepy dudes just came with like earplugs or headphones. And just like grey sweatpants without any underwear.
Yeah.
It would be so good.
That was like the festival that I went to recently, and there was like the hip hop stage, and the person that opened was a young woman.
Yeah.
And she was like the very first act, which would have been at like 12 p.m.
And all the guys started barking at her like dogs.
She was like, yeah, she was a young woman. There was maybe like 30 people in the audience because everyone was still
Wow.
coming into the festival.
Yeah.
And this is a massive stage, right? And it was like...
She's well known?
Oh, I don't know. She's a local, you know?
Oh, a local, okay.
So she was wearing like... I was thinking about that, like the Megan Thee Stallion, like Doja Cat, that whole kind of thing. Because she was wearing kind of like a corset with like a G-string kind of bottom. With like fishnet stockings.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know, this is just a girl you went to school with. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was kind of a weird moment of being like, damn, if you're just in the street at a party, people are just going to think you're a regular person with a job and everything like that.
Yeah.
But you're not. You're up here on stage with this revealing clothing. You know what I mean? This is someone's... It was like... I understand when they're like a mega star. but it's funny seeing the progress of being like, no, I'm going to dress like this and then I'm going to get famous.
Interesting. Yes,
Does that make sense? I feel like I'm not explaining this well.
I guess doing it a little bit too early. Like, I guess Meg the Stallion's warranted to wear her G-string sort of attire.
Not even too early, but it's just funny seeing this person who is just an Australian,
Yeah.
you know.
But she's using her body. Is that the issue? Women shouldn't
It's
be
not
able
an
to
issue.
use their bodies?
It's not an issue.
This is the new podcast. We don't even use the soundboard anymore. We just have a different approach.
No, it's not an issue. It's just like
It's a somebody please get me a tissue.
it's just a funny.
Because I'm going to run to the bathroom. I'm going to need it to clean myself up.
No, it's just a funny. Yeah, I don't know. It's just a strange thing to kind of see in front of you.
Right. A woman
There's
in
no-
revealing clothing who isn't drawing a big crowd, and she's a bit new and she's local. And she's like, I guess I'm
Yeah.
just going to do this.
Yeah, this is like, all right, we're putting on this big festival. We go to our promoters. We need a local act to open the show.
Yeah.
Do that opening spot. They're going to get paid like, $500.
Yeah.
And then this girl comes up and she's like wearing this crazy outfit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just very interesting.
It is.
Because it's like the
yeah.
emulation
Right.
of, like, it's like a projection of like, this is what I think is attractive and this is where I want to be.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm looking at my heroes who are those types. It's like Nicki Minaj or like Cardi B.
Yeah, of course.
And this is how I'm going to dress.
Yeah. It's like even the opening acts for any rapper, and they're wearing like fake chains.
Yeah, or like they're just on like a bunch of Percocet and they're like
Yeah.
walking on stage in broad daylight with like a big doobie in their mouth.
Yes.
Yeah, people are like, who are you? You're from,
Yeah, you're from Lane Cove.
yeah.
But it's like, no, I'm going to be the next big thing.
Yeah.
And it's almost like it's the fake it till you make it thing a little bit as well.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
But onto the Meg the Stallion thing, what happens here? Who goes to that concert? To creepy dudes who are like a simps for Meg the Stallion, like me and The Rock, people who kind of idolize her.
It's probably like Lady Gaga, like a lot of women.
I don't think guys have a crush on Lady Gaga. That's
No,
purely
that's what I'm
for-
saying. It's like 50% women, 50% gay
men.
guys.
Yeah. You're trying to throw this on me, which is good.
Yeah.
So Meg the
So if you
Stallion's
find a
gonna
lady
be-
friend, you'll be able to go and enjoy it.
But yeah, no. The thing is with Meg the Italian. Okay, what's funny?
Hey, I'm doing a song over here.
Hey, I'm Meg the Italian. What do you want from me? Yeah, I shake my ass.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Meg the Italian.
What's your point? What do you
Hey,
say?
I'm walking here.
Hey, spaghetti.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, spaghetti and meatballs. It's me.
Hey, pal. My eyes up here. Yeah, I like to show off my body.
Body.
Body. Up, then it's up, then it's up, then it's up, pal.
Yeah. All right. Wait. What were you saying? Who do you think?
Schmo.
And there are dudes going for sure.
That's what I was thinking. I heard that Meg the Stallion is coming, and then I'm thinking, dang, I may want to go to that show to stare at her.
Yeah. Okay.
That's the first thing that goes through my head.
I reckon it would, for you specifically. I
Yeah.
feel like it would not be what you wanted it to be.
This is the tricky part.
Because
Because who's going to be there? There's a part of me that just wants to go. I don't even like the songs. I kind of like some that are a little bit more rappy.
you're like,
But is it okay for me to go as a single man
Yeah.
to stand off into the corner and just stare at her?
Yeah, like you're like, who's gonna be in the audience?
Yeah.
Do you think there'll be creepy dudes in there?
You got me. I'm going to be a creep at the Meg the Stallion concert. Is that fine? Is it like going to a strip club? Because it's like, here's this... This is what it's going into. It's going to the idea of if you're going to use your body to sell your music, and if you're going to be overtly sexual in kind of your marketing and everything, most guys, even on Twitter, they just like share Meg the Stallion posts. Her subreddit has like hundreds of thousands of fans who just share photos of her body, photos of her twerking. It's almost like she's a porn star.
Well, yeah,
That's how a lot of men see her. And are men going to be like, oh, dang, my favorite porn star is coming into town. I'm going to go see her live. This is what happens when you have this sort of thing going on. If you're going to be overtly sexual, you are going to have the consequences of guys seeing you as just a sexual object.
Yeah, you're like in the line for like a food or something, and someone's like, "Oh, you here for Megan Thee Stallion?" You're like, "Yeah." They're like, "Oh, have you heard their new album yet?" And you're like, "No." Why the hell would I do that? I like the idea that she looks out and it's just like...
No one knows the lyrics at all.
She doesn't even get applause when she finishes the song.
Y'all need to stop staring at me now. You're getting a little bit creepy. Not like a game of tennis. She's just going back and front.
She's like, all right, it's kind of weird that you guys are clapping during the song.
It's a real thing. Should they have a Meg the Stallion show for men and then a Meg the Stallion show for women? It's almost like we have an 8:00 show and then we've got a 9:00 show. The women can go, they can be fun, they can dance, they can wear their revealing outfits and enjoy her music. And then they leave and the men come in. There's just seats.
I like the idea that there's like, you know, some shows will have like, you know, you get your like tiered seating. So you're like up in like the nosebleeds and then you're down in the mosh and then there's a VIP section up the front and tickets are like $2,000. And it's just like 100 guys.
It's just covered. She can't even see what they're doing inside there.
They're just gritting their teeth.
What about going to the Meg the Stallion show, being up in the stands and just bringing binoculars?
That's great. Or anyone. Yeah. Just you're wearing binoculars.
Because what happens, right? This is the funny thing about a show.
Yeah.
And this is where it gets creepy.
Yeah.
Right. This is where it gets really... She's probably the first artist to really be so overtly sexual that she's close to being a porn star.
Really?
I would say I don't know anyone else that's been so like that or has such a thriving subreddit.
Here's the interesting thing.
Men are obsessed with her. The Rock said he would be her dog.
Oh, yeah. I did see that. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, everyone's just shameless about it. I know this is hard for you because you don't like black women, but imagine it's like Dua
Lipa. I don't like any
something.
women besides my girlfriend.
Okay, there we go.
I love my girlfriend. Yeah. I love any presents she buys me.
But you don't find Megan Thee Stallion attractive?
Well, let's just say I hope next year my girlfriend gets me tickets to Megan Thee Stallion.
There we go. Okay, that's a nice way to try to come back to it. But what were you going to say about it?
What?
No, you weren't going to say anything.
No.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I'm just thinking...
No, I just cut you off because you claim that I don't like black women, which I don't because my girlfriend is the only woman that I like.
Okay. Yeah, we all respect that. We all respect that here.
Yeah.
So The Rock will do it. I honestly can't imagine anyone else. You could try to do it at a Dua Lipa concert. I don't know. A lot of guys are obsessed with her. It's just not going to hit the same. It could be really great to do it at a Billie Eilish concert, but she isn't dressing provocatively. Do you know what I mean? Bad Baby, you could potentially do it. Meg Thee Stallion.
Lil Nas X? Well, that's what I was going to say, which is interesting about it. So if you're like Lil Nas X and you're going to be like part of your brand and everything is being like sexual and sexy.
Yeah.
And then the people that are enjoying that are...
He's being funny. I don't think there's that much sexual about Lil Nas X.
It's
challenging and it's funny.
But sexual liberation for it's for women.
Yeah.
Sexual liberation is a feminine thing because it's kind of like, who does Megan Thee Stallion want to be sexy for and for them to find her sexy? Is like, she doesn't want this 40-year-old balding guy after a show to come up and be like, you're so fucking hot. Do you know what I mean? She wants
Yeah.
she wants these people who are not even attracted to her sexually. She probably wants like
21-year-old women,
21-year-old straight women
straight women.
and
Yeah.
gay dudes who are like, oh my God, your outfit is so good. You look
Yes.
so hot.
Yeah.
You look so cute.
Yes.
She doesn't
I want to be you.
Yeah, like there's like an audio tech, this dude working on the side of the stage while she's playing, and he's just panting. And she walks from one side of the stage over to the other and then sees that. And it's a biological thing too, which
Oh, of
is
course.
the tricky part.
Like the best example is there's like the reaction videos. There's like a reaction to the WAP video, and it's some like young kid and his dad. And his dad is basically just like salivating. He's like, he can barely handle it.
Yeah.
He's just like, I'm old. This is just overwhelming.
Yeah.
This is literally overwhelming. This is the thing about Meg Thee Stallion. She has that effect on people,
Right.
especially older men, especially people who just kind of understand what's attractive. They're like, there's nothing better than that. Because she is acting like a porn star in her music videos and especially at her live shows with the way she dresses.
Yeah, well that's the
Because she's not doing it. Do you know who does it in a real hippie way? Is Tove Lo.
Tove Lo performed at the
Did
show,
you see?
Yeah.
Did you see her breasts?
Yeah.
You did.
Yeah, it was just like a top. Yeah.
Oh, but she usually always in her silly song Talking Bodies or whatever. She's just known to always take her shirt off. Now that isn't really hot. It can be, but you understand what she's doing it for a little bit. Meg Thee Stallion is literally looking like a world star hip hop girl. Like a world star candy girl. She's dressing like a stripper.
Yeah.
And she's on stage basically stripping.
Which is
And it's strange because it's perfect.
wrong.
And this is the thing. I don't even think it's wrong. I'm just
No,
saying that it's awkward because people would go to a strip club to watch that same performance.
Yeah.
And there's going to be no girl that's like as good as Meg Thee Stallion at that strip club. You may as well go see her live for that experience. It's a very interesting thing. And I do maybe want to try to get a ticket.
But then you have like I was saying, like you have Lil Nas X
Yeah.
who is performing, you know, like he'll take his shirt off.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't even know. But like judging from what was the video with
That's what I like or something. That's...
You know the one I mean?
I like that we've literally become old. We don't know the name of these songs.
No, the one with Satan and he's like giving him a lap dance.
Oh, yeah,
And that was like very overtly sexual. So it's part of his brand,
Yeah, yeah.
you know? So if he's rapping that and then people that come up afterward, like it's not annoying for him to have, or annoying is not the right word, it's not disturbing for him to have guys come up and be like, sexualize him in that way.
Yes, interesting. It's
Maybe
maybe
it
the
is.
difference
I'm
between men and
speaking-
women.
I'm obviously speaking in broad strokes,
Yeah.
but
And that's also what I'm going to be doing at the Meg Thee Stallion concert. I'm going to be speaking in broad strokes when I have a conversation with her.
Yeah, and then you have like, yeah, I mean, it's a very particular thing that I think mainly would apply to straight female performers. Your target demographic are the biggest creeps,
Yeah.
which is straight dudes.
Is it a creep if someone's giving you basically a strip club performance?
Well, she's not.
But she is. She literally is. Let's get up. Let's get it up. Let's get it up.
No, we don't need to do that.
Let's look up Meg Thee Stallion live.
No, we don't need to do
It's
that.
going to be in your history. You don't want to see that.
No, I don't even
Yeah,
care.
yeah,
I just
yeah.
don't want to. Yeah, whatever.
You don't want to go down that path.
Well, describe it.
She comes up on stage. She's wearing basically a G-string.
Let's get it up. Well, you described it, dude. Let's get it up. No,
Okay,
I'm joking. I'm
let's
joking.
go. You're joking. Yeah. And she's twerking a lot in a lot of her songs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Walking up and down, twerking, saying how badass she is. And then twerking a little bit more. Goes into another song, twerks a little bit, drops it down low, does kind of like a dance performance, and then twerks a little bit more.
So you're saying it's more similar to like a burlesque show or something.
Yes. Yeah, that's probably perfect.
And is that empowering? Well, here's the thing, like someone like that, and this goes back to what I was talking about before when I said like there was that young local woman,
Yes.
and it's like you're dressing like that, but you don't have the money to keep away creeps. Someone
Of
like Megan Thee
course, that's
Stallion, she
true.
can have like 8 bodyguards.
Yeah.
She gets off stage and it's dangerous. It's like playing with fire.
And she's a badass. That's kind of why people like her, because she's not really going to put up with creeps.
Well, she doesn't have to. She's rich.
She's also rich, and she's also just kind of sassy. She's not really vulnerable at all. There's no vulnerability to Meg Thee Stallion. Like, guys will not like, I'm going to take advantage of you. That's not the fantasy they have. They have the fantasy of being taken advantage of by her.
Right.
Literally.
Yeah. It's a mummy thing.
Yeah.
That's kind of safe.
It's very safe. Do you know what I mean? Like, she's got no problems. It's just a bit creepy. It's like this weird Amazonian thing. People are just going to be these guys who want to feel as small as possible and just stare at her.
Right.
They're not going to do anything creepy afterwards, but they're just going to be in the audience.
Creeping out.
Yeah, creeping out.
Hmm.
Which is... But anyway, off that topic, I'm getting a little bit worked up here. But feeling old at concerts, at festivals.
Yep.
You're at the Jack Heasy show and you're feeling like an old man.
Oh, yeah, because everyone's young in the crowd.
Yeah. Spring chickens.
Yeah, and it was like the first time I ever realized I'm like, I could kind of go without this.
Yeah.
You know, like I feel like my whole life you get so hyped for people. And maybe it's an age thing. Maybe because Jack Harlow's so young. Just kind of like, yeah, I respect what he's doing and everything like that, but I can't get behind it and be like, wow, this guy's an idol.
Yes. It's weird to idolize someone who's younger than you. I've always had that in my head. I don't really want to see an artist who's younger than me.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's a bit of a hating way, but there's something about I can't really idolize someone I can't idolize someone who's younger than me for the most part.
I can appreciate it,
Yeah.
but
Because it's not for you for the most part.
yeah.
Nas may be a little bit different, or some of, like Joey Badass when he came out.
Yeah.
I guess a lot of old heads will be like, dang, this is one of the nicest rappers I've ever heard. And he's like 21. I can potentially go down an avenue of, dang, this guy's so good that I need to see him live.
Yeah, I guess it's just a different thing.
Yeah. Because I'm getting old. Like, I remember the Bishop Naru was the first rapper that I was like, oh, dang, he's younger than me. And he's like killing it.
Yeah.
He's someone I would want to see. He's the first person I wanted to kind of see live. And I felt weird that he was going to be younger than me.
Right, yeah.
Then you go into like, as it progresses, you have certain people like Lil Pump, XXXTentacion. And it's like, I could probably see those dudes and they're younger than me because they're like punky and they're fun.
Maybe that's why it's just easier to... But the majority of artists are quite young, the ones that kind of pop off.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a sweet spot in the age thing.
Yeah, I guess because what happens, you're an artist, you pop off, you're young, you slowly get better, and then you usually, you could probably reach your prime around 35. And what happens around 35, everyone's kind of young enough for you. Everyone can kind of see Kendrick Lamar because usually after the age of 35, you don't really go to see shows anymore. You actually have a family.
Right.
And it's literally just an age thing. You're going to keep on going to shows and going to these things probably up until the age of 35. And then that's when the artists that you probably enjoyed have all become old. And then you're going to see it in a different way.
There's probably a strange ego thing going on as well.
But like, no one's seeing new artists after the age of 35. You know all your dudes, you've seen them grow up. You've kind of probably caught on to some at around 26 or something.
Yeah.
35, you're no longer looking for the next big artist. You're not going to like, I don't even know. You're not going to see someone like Trippie Redd live. You're not going to see Genesis Owusu and be like, okay, dang, let's see what this is all about. Let's get on this train. You're not going to see Skin on Skin at the Enmore Theatre and be like, okay, this is what's hot. This is what's hot now. Let me see if I can jump on this train.
Yeah. 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 And I think, like, I think the reason why the artists who have the most kind of pandemonium are often targeting young girls, I would say,
Yes.
is because I think there is an ego attached
Right.
to a lot of dudes that maybe isn't as present in women. They're more kind of cool.
Right.
Like dudes have to rationalize a lot of things
Yeah.
to be able to appreciate something.
100%. Because I guess you idolize someone because you really respect them. You don't really... I guess it's the same sort of idea of obsession, but there's a lot more that goes into, I think, a guy's obsession. I think girls can kind of just go nuts and be like, oh, okay, I'm a believer.
But not even
jumping on this
Not even
train.
with men though. I mean, like even with like female artists.
Right.
Like if you were to look at Billie Eilish,
Yeah.
it's probably mostly women in the
Yes.
audience.
Yeah.
If you were to look at like Pink or Beyonce or Adele,
Yeah.
yeah,
Women are getting behind this. I guess they're speaking to women. It's like, who's speaking to you?
true, yeah,
There is always an audience. Like, I think we've had this conversation when it comes down to artists. There's usually a person that...
men want to see the Foo Fighters.
Right.
Men want to just go and see the Foo Fighters.
Yeah.
Drink some beers.
Yeah.
And go home.
Right.
Go, damn, that Dave Grohl. He can do it all.
Yeah.
That's what men want to do.
That's what men want to do. What do women want to do?
Froth out, I think, for the most part. They're not going to meet, like, guys aren't actually going to Megan Thee Stallion and frothing out.
Yeah. Straight men aren't going to Megan Thee Stallion and going nuts.
And going, make me feel like a little boy. Because again, I think it comes down to like an ego thing, whereas women will go see, you know, Drizzy Drake.
That's true.
And be like, I love this guy. It's probably like actually like...
I think guys will do that as well.
The groupie thing. Think about groupies.
Yeah.
You don't think about like the... What are they called? What's Joan Jett's band called? The Runaways?
I think so.
Whatever they're called. You don't see them going on tour and they've got like all these dude groupies who are hanging about.
Right.
Maybe they are. I don't know.
Interest. The groupies.
But then you think about Led Zeppelin.
Yes.
You know.
Dang it, groupies. Meg Thee Stallion may have groupies. This is a
I don't
very... Has there been an artist that has male groupies? Like a female artist?
Yeah, I mean, well...
That's so interesting. Because, yeah, that's perfect. The idea of the groupie.
You think about the Bjork guy,
Yeah.
but that's a stalker, not...
That's where it becomes creepy. I think Meg Thee Stallion is probably the closest I ever could imagine that would have male groupies.
Have you seen Dharma? Have you been watching it?
I haven't watched Dharma.
Can I give any of it away?
Give it away now, as
So-
the
Chili Peppers.
Chili Peppers would say.
So, yeah, we watched the first episode and I was like, I can live without this.
Right. So it
This
was
is-
overwhelming, was it?
I was having such a great day. That was the worst part of my day, was seeing that.
Yeah. Stop being such
it
a
was just-
Dharma queen.
Nice. It was just distressing.
Right.
You know? I was like, I don't necessarily need this. And Amy kept watching it and then...
Women do be liking their serial killers.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we put it on last night. There was a couple episodes left and I fell asleep and I woke up on the last one.
Yep.
And it was like when he was repenting from all his murders.
Right.
And I didn't see anything else that came before that to give me a perception of kind of how evil he was.
Yeah, yeah.
So now, just in my head, I don't have any evidence to like tell me that he's a heaps bad guy.
Wow. Okay. So you haven't watched the whole thing. You've just seen a little bit of the beginning and the end, and that you've just had that takeaway,
Yeah.
which is good. Which is
I
good.
just kind of empathize with this guy.
It's like the Jimmy Savile documentary.
Who's Jimmy Savile?
Jimmy Savile was like this very prolific British entertainer, kind of talk show, this host. It was kind of like everywhere.
Oh yeah.
I know Tim Dillon did a really funny thing, but he had a documentary on Netflix that went for 2 hours. The first hour was just saying how amazing he was. Like, Rolling Stones loved him, the Beatles loved him. He was there with Michael Jackson. He was kind of the man to kind of bring all these people to the limelight, bring them to the UK. But he sexually assaulted like hundreds of thousands of kids, women, dead people, everything.
Yeah.
But the first hour was just praising him. The second hour was going into, but he did this, and this. I only watched the first hour. I literally just watched the first hour, and I was like, dang, this guy's great.
Yeah.
And I know Tim Dillon made the exact same joke, which basically was insinuating, if anyone's watched this Netflix documentary, Jimmy Savile's just amazing.
Right, yeah.
And that's the takeaway.
Yeah.
It was really strange because I didn't have the attention span to watch what was 2 hours. I watched an hour and I was like, okay, let's hear about this. Everyone's been talking about it. And I didn't go back to it. And now I only know Jimmy. I don't know one thing he's done wrong. Like, I'm probably wrong. I think there's something involving dead people and children.
Yeah. Oh, we're good.
Oh, we're good. But yeah, I only know the positives. And that's just my reality now. Which I'm guessing is the same with you with Dharma.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, this is just a cool guy. He just was sorry for what he did.
Yeah. Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it? Yeah, because I haven't watched it. I did a nice little Wikipedia. I like doing deep dives on serial killers.
I was just about to ask that, yeah.
Right.
What's the other guy, the clown? The guy that
Yes, John Wayne
Gacy? Yeah.
Yeah. I think I did I must have done a deep dive. I've done it for my whole life, doing the nice deep dives on, serial killers and like the school shooters and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued. Very intrigued. So I think I was going down the rabbit hole with Jeffrey Dahmer last night, just a little wiki.
What'd you find?
Refresher.
Anything juicy?
What was I finding that was juicy? I kind of got a bit bored. I realized I had to, it probably required maybe 2 hours of really sitting with it. And I only had like 10 minutes to just do a bit of a scroll. I think I just came to his upbringing, that he was like this. He was an alcoholic. He was getting drunk at school all the time. He was a jokester.
Yeah, right.
People would say, oh, he's pulling a Dharma. He was like a funny man. He was a funny
Right.
boy.
Yeah.
And apparently he would do like pranks and charge to do it. He would charge the kids. He'd be like, hey, you want to see me do this?
Eat a guy. You want to see me open up someone's rib cage and eat their heart?
And he'd be like, yes. He's like, well, it's going to be $15. And apparently he'd spend all that money on booze. But yeah, also he was, what is it called when you open people up? There's a word for it, but him and his dad used to do that.
Oh, taxidermy.
Taxidermy. They were really into taxidermy.
Yeah.
They used to go like,
That was one part I woke up for during the show.
during the taxidermy
like-
thing. Yeah.
So I woke up and the guy was like, his dad in the show
Yeah.
was like, I don't know why Jeff is doing this.
Yeah.
Maybe I should have spent more time with him as a kid.
Yeah.
You know, things he enjoyed, taxidermy. He's like, Jeff really enjoyed that. And I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
You should have spent more time doing taxidermy. That probably would have helped. Yeah.
It's an interesting one. I think I also got into the...
I don't know what went wrong with Kareem. Maybe I should have spent more time playing with Barbie dolls with him.
There we go. That's actually a really nice one. But yeah, no, I think I got up to the first person he killed. And it was something about... It's pretty good. They give everything away on Wiki. Something about he saw... I think he had a boyfriend. He realized he was... Ooh! He had a boyfriend growing up. They didn't do anything, though. What did he do? He was just like a real alcoholic. He joined the military, went to Germany, and kept on getting drunk. And then I think he ended up living with his grandma, who he really loved. Then he started working at a chocolate factory, which I always thought was great. Chocolate factory is also what his house looked like with all the dead black men.
No.
But yeah, the first person he killed, I think he was hit on by a guy, I think when he was like 21 or something. Oh, actually, no, maybe even 18. And then it was like overwhelming, the idea of being hit on. And he's like, I just want to have someone just with me all the time. I want to take complete control. It was like a control thing. And then I think he was saying that I think he saw some jogger that used to run with his shirt off, and he planned on killing this jogger, but the jogger didn't show up on the day. And then I think the first person he killed was he was driving in his car. There was a young, pretty handsome dude, and he picked him up, took him back. They played, I don't know, they didn't play video. They just drank and hung out.
Yeah.
And then he realized the guy was talking about his girlfriend. And then he realized nothing was going to happen. So the only way that was going to happen between them is if he killed this dude. And then I think he hits him on the back of the head and strangles him, and then jerks off over his body, which I thought was pretty cool.
It's funny to think you're reading this and you're like, this is kind of boring.
But it says, yeah, apparently, so he played with the dude's chest and then JO'd,
Yeah.
released, and he's like, okay, time for some taxidermy. And then he starts opening up his chest, and then he starts opening him up.
What I want to know is how they got the, how do they know this stuff after the fact? Do you know what I mean?
I know, I think it's
'Cause
Jeffrey's accounts.
Yeah, what, you're going to
Yeah.
trust this guy?
Would someone
And
make
he's like,
this stuff up?
why would I lie about this?
That's the thing. Who would make this stuff up? I think that's probably the whole idea.
And then I hit him on the head, and then I jerked off on him. And then,
And then what'd you do, Jeffrey?
and then
Then I cut him up, opened up his chest, started going through his organs a little bit. And then I think he skinned him. What is it? Tore all the ligaments or something out, crushed the bones with a hammer, and then spread it all over the backyard. And I think, what was it? Used acid to kind of get rid of all the body parts.
he was drilling people's heads
I've heard about that.
and
I haven't
pouring
gotten to
acid
that.
in there
Really?
to turn them into zombies.
Was he?
Yeah.
I didn't get to that. This is as far as I've gone.
And there was a kid who he had done that to.
Yeah.
And the kid was like an athlete or something. Like
That's
they were
the
strong.
Cranberry song is named after that.
Zombie.
There we go.
I'm awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he did that, and then the kid came to somehow, was still fucked up. Hole in their head, acid in their head.
Wait a second.
And they ran
what?
out of the apartment, and the neighbor called the cops, and the cops came, and Dharma was like, oh yeah, no, he's messed up. He's just on drugs or something, but that's my
Yeah.
boyfriend.
I heard the boyfriend
The woman
thing.
was like, no, he's clearly a kid.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, this is my boyfriend. He's just on drugs.
I heard the police were like, yo, chill. Yeah. I don't want to hear about that.
So the cops let him take the boy back inside.
Dang.
And
How old was the boy?
14, 13 or 14.
Dang.
And yeah, he murdered him.
Gosh.
And they shared vents, like the apartment shared a vent.
Yeah.
So the neighbor could just smell people rotting in a vat, in like a barrel in his room.
Dang.
Yeah, pretty.
Do you think they got like a diffuser? Do you think there was one day where the next door neighbors are like, okay, let's go to Target. We got to get something. We got to do something about this smell. And they like get the little thing, like shake up the sticks, put them upside down and put it like right next to their vent. And it'd be like, oh yeah, vanilla bourbon. That's better. That would have happened.
Yeah.
That literally would have happened.
Oh, can you imagine that smell? It must be like
I can't imagine what a dead person smells like.
probably just like a butcher.
Yeah, apparently they say it's the worst smell on earth.
Butcher's pretty bad.
Really?
Yeah.
Butchers are kind of nice. Smells kind of like blood. Smells like really nice meats or something. Very strong, a bit garlicky.
It's terrible.
Really?
Yeah.
A
Are you
nice
kidding me?
butcher?
You don't want to hang out in a butcher.
I'm happy to hang out in a butcher.
I literally don't know how the people do it, you know?
I haven't been to an abattoir, but I quite like butchers because maybe the butchers I go to sell a lot of herbs and spices. So I walk in there and it just smells like someone's getting ready for dinner.
Why do people love murder stories so much? Is it because it's abnormal almost? Like it doesn't feel real, or we're so far? Maybe it speaks to like our human animalistic nature,
Yeah. We can all get there.
but we don't experience it. Like we hate it.
Yeah. It's a really interesting one. I think I was having the conversation with my brother just about why there is such an obsession over...
Shout out Drinkwater Podcast.
Yeah, shout out to Drinkwater Podcast, by the way. We've done a nice little deep dive, I think, on the Dharma thing. But yeah, just... I think people... It's linked to the whole idea of World War II, Stanford prison experiment, that people are all capable of really gruesome acts.
Yeah.
If put under the right circumstances.
But why do we want to watch someone else do that? Or why?
I know. Why do they want to watch someone else do that? I've heard that apparently women particularly like it, almost as a cautionary tale, to be like, hey, this is what men are capable of. So I do have to watch out. I have to be extra careful because I could come across this dude, and it's almost like a warning signs thing. How did this guy do it? How did this girl or how did these guys die? Let's say it is the idea of getting picked up at a club, going back to a guy's house, his personality changes. Even just going back to a guy's house is a little bit of, okay, what did these people do wrong so I don't make the same mistake? Because women seem to be always in danger of being killed.
Right. That's hectic.
Yeah. And that's why they're so obsessed with cereal. It's almost like, okay, well, I've watched all these things, so it's not going to happen to me now.
Do you think that's why they're interested in it?
Apparently there was some study done on that. Why women? Because it is overwhelming. I think it is like 90% of these things are viewed by women.
When I was a kid, so my mum had a bookshelf.
Yeah.
And there was like, it was packed.
Yeah.
This little shelf. And I remember getting to a certain age where I was like, what are these books? And I kind of like read the blurbs and whatever. And they were all like murder books.
Oh, dang. Yeah, yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, my mum's a psycho.
Dang, they're all murder books though.
Yeah, like she was very interested in like the crime and underbelly.
Right.
Underbelly kind of stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's a normal thing. I think it's interesting.
It's very normal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Amy's band's called Crime Show. Shout out Crime Show.
Nice. Shout out to Crime Show. It's a great name.
Because, yeah, it's a very feminine band and girls love crime shows.
Girls do love crime shows.
Which is, do guys love it? What do guys love?
Do guys love crime shows? I think guys like The Office.
Maybe girls are like, no, I can fix him.
Is that what it is? There's a little bit of that. There's definitely a little bit of that.
Girls attracted
Do guys like
to-
real silly billy stuff?
Yeah.
I think guys are all silly billies at the end of the day. But we also do like some guys do like the Peaky Blinders. But I think, do women like Mad Men more? Like the badass guy shows? I don't know what guys like. I honestly don't know.
Been watching The Sopranos.
You've been watching the soapies.
Good Lord.
Drop the soap.
Good Lord, it's good.
Really?
Yeah.
Same thing. I just couldn't get into the Sopranos.
It's fantastic.
Really?
Yeah.
What are you up to?
I don't know, halfway through season 3.
Dang, so you're nicely into it.
Yeah, it's excellent.
Is it really addictive? Is it better than Breaking Bad? This is a nice little question as well.
Maybe Breaking Bad, also a guy's show, probably.
Breaking Bad's a nice guy's show. Actually, that's a real boys show. That's a real man right there.
Girls love Disney movies forever, also.
Right. What do you mean by Disney movies?
Girls love the most happy things and then the most hectic things. And I feel like guys like all the stuff that's in between.
Interesting.
Guys like movies where the character doesn't learn a lesson as well.
Yeah.
John Wick. He doesn't learn a lesson. He just kicks ass for, quite a while.
Right. I've never watched John Wick, but I know our boys like it.
The Departed.
I haven't watched Departed either. I'm realizing I'm not a. It's like the Aquila thing. You're not a dude, are you?
You don't have a penis.
You
do
don't have a,
yeah.
You don't have a penis, do you?
Yeah.
Shout out to Aquila.
Yeah. So that's, I don't know.
What do boys like? What have you been? I guess you've been watching The Sopranos lately. I can't find any TV shows to get into.
It's almost like a decline.
Right.
Oh, but yeah. Why not? Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just
What
trying to
else
think.
has been happening?
What else has been going on, by the way? I'll see how we're going time-wise. How are we looking? Oh, we got around 10 more minutes or so. What else has been going on in the world?
Andrew Tate. You've been getting into a lot of Tate.
I've been getting into a lot of Tate.
There's that guy from
A nice amount of Tate.
Sydney. There's a guy that's been shaking up the comedy world.
Who?
You know the dude, the one that was posting on the Facebook group.
Oh, yeah, there is a dude. Yeah.
Yeah. So Vishal and Lockie and whatever in a group chat were like posting shit from that guy. He's trying to get like a brotherhood together.
Yes. It's a Facebook group, isn't it? Like something about a brotherhood?
I don't know. Lockie
Yeah.
tried to get in. He didn't let him in
Yes.
because he said this isn't a joke. Lachlan, I think, said I need pussy,
Yeah.
and he said this isn't a joke.
Yeah.
But his values are like, where I'm getting a brotherhood together
Mm.
of men who want to become physically, spiritually, mentally, economically, and socially strong.
Which
And I'm
seems
like,
to be so, yeah.
That's great. That is great. In principle, that is a noble thing. That's a very
It's
noble
so
thing that this
funny.
guy's doing.
All these dudes out there have this kind of agenda, which is exactly the same.
Yes. What's the agenda?
It's like we just want men to be better. All those things rung off.
I saw a meme, and it was like the sad looking depressed meme guy, and someone was
yeah.
like, you should work out, you'll feel better.
Yeah.
And then it showed the like Chad meme guy,
Yeah.
and he said, I'm still sad. And I was like, that's, it's a funny concept
Yeah.
because it kind of made me realize if someone was jacked like that, or it's like you should work out and then they actually did work out and get jacked,
Yeah.
their life is going to kind of fall into place a little bit.
I don't think so.
Speaking from experience.
Speaking from experience, I was literally that. I think I was like a sad boy.
You're not a sad boy now.
I'm not a sad boy now. No.
And your life is like together.
My life's very much together now, for the most part. Like,
Yeah.
even if I'm not lost, all the pieces are there, and it's just putting them all together.
Yeah.
But I know I was that sad boy who was kind of lost, and I probably did need a sort of a brotherhood, which I think is such an interesting thing to go down. These sorts of brotherhood.
You were never
figures.
that boy though.
I was never that boy. I thought everything was corny. I think what happens when you are like probably in your, I guess, early 20s, you get to this place where everything seems corny, everything seems silly, and nothing seems worth it.
Yeah.
And then that's when I became obsessed with the gym. Absolutely obsessed. It's kind of all I would really do, probably for that same like 2-year period. And then I got to the end of it and I was like, yeah, I'm still sad.
Yeah, you were like...
The gym isn't the answer. That's why I do hate when a lot of these like Andrew Tate, a lot of these like Hamza and stuff like that say you just got to start going to the gym.
It does help though.
I don't think it does. I don't think the gym is the answer. I think it usually comes down to passion. What's the thing that you actually want to do?
If you're going to the gym, taking care of yourself,
Yeah.
eating good, that's like it's like everything you do is like a rebound effect almost. It's like
Right.
you eat bad and then the reflection is like, I don't really care about myself that much.
Mm.
Or you do some stuff like that. If you start like going to the gym, you're probably sleeping better, you're probably eating better, you're taking care of yourself. You're like, damn, I love this guy. I'm going to take care of him.
I think maybe it is a person-to-person thing. I think what's going to probably happen, I think there are going to be a lot of people out there that are going to experience what I did. They're going to be like, okay. Because at the end of the day, all these dudes, it's very annoying. It's like, do you want to do this, and this? The answer is go to the gym.
What? No, but it's one cog. It's one piece of the machine. Like, what's better? Going to the gym or going for a walk or exercising a little bit or eating a little bit better or disregarding that all entirely?
I think
What is better for your mental health?
I do actually think the gym can make it worse.
No, you're
In a
talking
weird
about
way.
extremes. I'm talking about the dude that wakes up and then stays in bed all day and does
Yeah.
that for a full week,
Right.
or wakes up and goes, hey, I'm going to go for a 15-minute walk.
Mm.
That can't be worse. That 100. I know you are trying to
I'm
find
trying.
out-
I'm trying to find an angle for this, and you're the thing is, you're probably right, and I'm just trying to figure out why I don't like these guys, because it's the Gary Vee thing.
Because they're saying it's a be-all and end-all thing.
Yeah, it's very similar to Gary Vee. His whole thing, because at the end of the day, people watch all this stuff and they only take in a tiny little bit. It's like the Jordan Peterson thing was literally clean your room.
Which is great. That's a great tip.
It's a decent one.
It's a fantastic tip.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. Like, it's a pretty decent one.
Who's going to be happier? The person that... If you're cleaning your room, it means you've got the energy to clean your room and
Yeah.
you're trying to take care of yourself.
Yes.
If you don't, it means that you're like incapable of even doing the slightest thing to better your position in the world.
Yeah, no, this is because I have this idea, right? You've got these three people. It's the clean your room, it's the everyone else go to the gym, and then there's the Gary Vee grind. See, what's going to happen at the end of the day? You're going to have these dudes who are buff with a clean room and with a grinding mindset and have no direction.
It's
And
going
they
to help.
literally-
They're in a better position than those people who are not healthy mentally or
true.
physically. And yeah, they don't, neither of them have passion, but one is at least going to be capable of giving themselves something that makes them happy.
I think their mindset is... I don't know if it's optimal, though.
No. We're not talking about optimal. We're talking
Yeah.
about better.
It definitely...
One or the other.
It's going to be a little bit
ultimately.
better.
Thank you.
I think-
No,
No, that's good, and I will... No, give yourself that. That's good. Oh,
Oh, we've got it
That's
right.
right.
Oh, God damn.
good. That's probably the literally the thing realizing that you're wrong.
Let's see what happens.
Oh, do you know what's funny? Because it's called a right error, and you were saying you were right, and there was an error. And you, oh, okay.
There we go. Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, the Zoom recorder just basically was on my side there. What I do think, though, it does come down to passion. It does come down to interests, pure interests. That's where you're going to be happy. If you find out what your actual interests are, no matter how silly they are,
If you go to the gym, you're going to have the energy to find interest
I don't think you would.
better than someone that isn't attempting anything.
I feel I see this guy and he exists and I've come across him quite a bit.
All right, tell me
Right.
about this guy.
There's this guy who's doing everything they're told. He's going to the gym hard. He's got a clean room. He's not masturbating. He's getting good sleep. He's focused and he has a grinding mindset. And he doesn't know what he wants to do with his life.
But he's in a better position. We're going in circles here, man. You agreed with me 2 seconds ago. Let's just run with that.
I do think there's something weird about it, though. There's something a bit weird. And what usually happens, these dudes just end up obsessing over the gym. And that becomes their thing. And I don't think that's the answer. I don't think that's what they truly love. And they obsess over the grind and they obsess over the gym and they obsess over helping and being better people. And what happens is almost like a cycle.
Yeah.
And what happens, these dudes get so into that they start up an Instagram channel and be like, I have my life together because I went to the gym and I cleaned my room and I had a grinding mindset. And then they just pass it on to the next person. No one's achieving anything.
It's a Ponzi scheme.
It literally.
Yeah.
It's a Ponzi scheme. There's nothing going on. You just have these guys who end up becoming motivational speakers.
Yeah, but
And it's crazy.
But-
Literally, you can't just have motivational speaker after motivational speaker. You have to do something at the end of the day. You can't. Not everyone can be Gary Vee or Andrew Tate or like Hamza. But they all want to be because they're all told they're not given anything other than go to the gym, clean your room, and grind hard, and that's gonna make you better.
That's why you need the brotherhood.
No, because I think the brotherhood is flawed.
The brotherhood
What
is just
the,
gonna
what the
say-
brotherhood does, it adds the
You
next
go
element.
into the gym, you grinding, you clean your room, and you're like, it's still not enough. And you go to the brotherhood, and they're like, you got to clean your room, grind. Go to the gym, and you're like, I am. I am. Why am I so fucking sad?
Do you know what happens though? Because literally, this is like I've noticed. There's three things. There's that, the brotherhood, and the next thing is women.
Social.
No, purely women. Women are the cause of your problems. And what these movements are doing is saying disregard women. Women are bad. Women are evil. This is the Andrew Tate thing. People always say that Andrew Tate's a misogynist, da-da-da-da-da. He kind of is. He's obsessed with women not being good. And this seems to be the big thing that these dudes have taken on. They're buff, they have clean rooms, and they're grinding, and now they hate women. It's literally, it's added to their thing.
Yeah.
And now they're really obsessed with, I guess, having like social videos where they'll go to women on the street and be like, what do you think of Andrew Tate? And they'll be like, he's a misogynist. They'll be like, why? Just define misogyny.
Well, yeah.
There's nothing. These people aren't achieving anything. They're literally not achieving anything. They're like robots.
It's like cooking, and on the box it says like delicious curry,
Yeah.
right? And you're like, all right, fine, I guess I'm gonna make a delicious curry. And it's like, first step, you cut the onions, and you cut in the onions, and you're like, this still isn't delicious.
Yeah.
And then it's like, all right, put that in a pan, add this spice, and you're like, fine, that doesn't smell heaps good.
Yeah.
Add some water. You add the water. You're like, this isn't that good. Boil the rice. You do the whole thing. You have it on a plate and you're eating it. And you're like, I'm not really even enjoying this. It comes down to like an attitude thing.
No.
You follow
Yeah.
the steps and also have that attitude
Yeah.
of not being a sado. And it's easier to not be a sado when you're taking steps to try to better your situation.
I get that.
If you have a clean room, curry tastes better.
No, what happens if you do all that stuff, you would know straight away. This is almost like a perfect analogy. Let's say you want to make a delicious curry.
Yeah.
People are like, okay, well, you got to get all your ingredients together. And it is that thing. It's like, well, you got to do this, you got to do that, you got to do this, you got to do that. What I think the whole idea of forgetting the gym, forgetting the grind, forgetting
Sarah Marshall.
Absolutely amazing movie, everyone. What you need to do is find the passion. When you have your passion, that's almost like opening the curry spice. So what happens? You're making the curry. You put that spice on the table. Like, oh, this is going to be great.
You're passionate for it.
Yeah, this is going to be great. And then what happens? You do those steps a lot easier because you can already smell what it's going to be like. You're not going to have your delicious curry, but you've had a scent.
You've been to the gym.
No, you haven't been to the gym. You haven't done anything. But you've just smelt the curry. You've smelt the possibility.
Okay.
You're like, oh, this is what I'm going to do.
You're saying you got to have a lust for life.
Not even a lust for life. You just basically have to figure out what your thing is.
You have to have a thing. And then this is the chicken or egg thing. I'm saying it's easy to find your thing when you're already taking care of yourself in other areas.
Yeah.
And you're saying you have to find your thing and that'll make it easier to succeed in other areas.
Yeah. Oh, right. I think the only things people... This attitude of building yourself up before you find your thing, I think is just making a whole bunch of people not actually pursue what they want and become this robot who's this grinder who goes to the gym and is obsessed with his body and hates women.
Well, I guess the difference is as well what side you come from.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I've been someone with passion but no structure.
Yeah.
So then it's about finding that structure. And then I've got friends with all structure and no passion.
Yeah.
And then it's about finding that passion. And you kind of come closer to the center of being able to actually enjoy life.
Right.
You have to probably have both sides going on.
Yeah.
Like, you should go and do this thing you like, but you should also maintain your home life. You know, you should go on a date, but you should also hate women a little bit.
Basically what we're saying, the women, I don't like anything else. You don't have to go to the gym. You don't have to clean your room, but let's hate women. Women aren't that good. They're slowing you down.
Maybe you came from. Are you saying you had to find passion, or this isn't even you? What side did you come from more?
Oh, I came from the other. I had all the structure and I didn't know what to do with it.
Yeah, so you were like going to the gym, you were hating women, you were doing everything.
Yeah.
And you were still unhappy.
I had a clean room. I was jacked. I could not stand women. I wouldn't even look at them in the eyes. And I was miserable.
Right.
And this is the thing. I feel I've come across this dude a lot as well.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
And I think most people who follow David Goggins, Gary Vee are all pretty miserable because they don't really know what to do. They've been like getting all this advice from this self-help dude, and then what? David Goggins doesn't do anything.
Actually, I love self-help books.
Yeah.
Well, I have in the past.
Yeah.
Because they've been an indicator to myself that I'm trying to change something to improve my situation.
Yeah.
Not necessarily what it's telling me, you know,
Right.
but what you read from that.
Right.
For instance, like listening to like Jordan Peterson on like a podcast or something, and actively seeking that out because I'm like, all right, this guy has stuff.
Yes.
But he's not also telling you how to be successful per se. So maybe that's not the best example, but a self-help book like what's the one? The orange one? The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck.
Oh, yes.
Like that. And like reading that, the principles in it are good.
Yeah.
And what I took away from that was good. But no one should have that has no idea and be like, yeah, I need to follow this to a T.
Yeah, yeah, of course.
The author went to Russia in a chapter.
Right.
Maybe I should think about going to Russia.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, stuff like that. It's kind of like you should adopt the principles, but not the life, because you have to live your own life. It's almost autobiographical. Like I really like autobiographies as well, because you see where people succeed and fail, and there's almost like a through line.
Yeah.
Like you speak to people, and people aren't that different. Everyone has a pretty similar experience when it comes down to like the principles of what they're, going through.
Skinner?
Principal Skinner, yeah. Yeah, but maybe that's the problem. Like we're in an age where it's people are taking it literally. Like you shouldn't literally hate women.
I think people are, because what happens with a self-help book, I think people who are lost are like, okay, this is my answer. And what the answer does is like, you got to clean your room, you got to go to the gym, you got to hate women. And it's like, okay, well, I'm going to start doing that. That's going to be me. And that's what they're left with.
But
they watch Gary Vee and they're like, okay, I got to grind. Okay, good. I'm going to grind now. That's my answer.
But the annoying part is maybe that works.
But it doesn't at all.
It just creates...
more
incels.
anxiety.
Everyone was talking about incels like 2 years ago, and then...
Yeah, then there was a break, and now they've... like, I think they're like very seasonal. It comes back around every now and then.
Yeah.
Even Jordan Peterson.
Oh, that's right. There was COVID. So there couldn't be anyone like shooting up schools or whatever.
Oh, yeah, and everyone was an incel during COVID.
Yeah.
Everyone was. Everyone understood what it was kind of like. But then people started getting back out there, getting sneers, and the incels are like, oh. And how hilarious is that for like all the people who are kind of like incel introverts being like, dang, everyone's like me. And then they have to see it, like, it leaves their grip. Everyone goes back outside and they're still inside. That'd be pretty annoying.
What about, yeah, that's funny.
It'd be really annoying.
You know, like you watch, there's like animals and they want to go out and like find a mate or something like that.
Yeah.
If you see some dogs, there's like a boy dog and there's a girl dog, and the boy dog sniffing like the girl dog's butt, and the girl dog like snaps at them or like wants them to go away.
Yeah.
And you're kind of like, oh, that poor dog. Maybe not the best example, but like wild animals.
Right.
Like they have a innate kind of thing that is like, no, you want to go out and produce.
Yes.
And then, this is almost like a meme or something, like a girl watching like a Discovery Channel thing, David Attenborough talking about like this lion going out and trying to find a mate. And a girl being like, oh, I can't find a mate. And then you're like her incel best friend sitting on the couch and being like, we can't help the lions, but I'm here. You know?
Yeah, Dag, there is a lot going on with the. It's come back into the discussion.
Yeah.
Of what's going on with incels. What's the situation here? I know everyone's talking about it right now, but it's a little bit of a dilemma.
Yeah.
It really is a dilemma, and I think everyone is saying it is from like the whole dating app sort of thing, and people being lost. You just have these jack dudes who have no personality and have clean rooms, and no woman wants them because they don't have anything to give.
What was the alternative in the past?
The alternative in the past, yeah, because is this a new thing? Is being an incel a new thing?
Or is there just this 50-year-old guy that was never married?
Yeah. My, what would it be? My
Reflection.
There we go. There we go. My grandmother's brother was an incel, never married, pretty autistic dude,
Yeah.
traveled the world, but just never had a partner. He was just an incel.
Right.
Yeah.
Did he want a partner?
Actually, no.
I guess he would never talk to you about that.
He may have been more of a volcel.
What's a voluntary?
Yeah.
Yeah, like a yeah.
He may have been a volcel, which is probably a bit different. The incels is a problem.
Do we? Yeah. I remember hearing like a podcast talking about like there are incels and you feel bad.
Yeah.
You're like, that's kind of sad. And then there's like the female incels.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh my God. Like, how bad must they be?
Yeah.
If no one, yeah.
I hate doing this. But yeah, to reference like another podcast, it does come down to the dating app things where most guys just don't get any response ever.
Yeah.
And I think that's what it kind of feels like for an incel.
Yeah.
It's like, dang, anyone? Is there anyone? Is there anyone out there that can like me?
Yeah, it's
Just one person, even if it's someone with like one arm or like in blue skin. Can anyone like me?
What about like you're out there fishing?
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You chuck your line in. You've been out there all day. You go back the next day. 3 weeks.
Yeah.
You're out there chucking your line out there. You don't catch anything. You're hungry. You're so hungry.
Yeah.
And then this other guy walks out there who's 6'3", has a good job, just walks out, casts their line in, and pulls up 3 fish on one hook. And that first guy goes, I hate fish. I hate fish.
That's literally perfect.
And they go home, they clean their room. They start going to the gym. They start getting on their grind. They decide that they hate fish. They stop even buying fish from the shop. They go back. They put their line out the next day. They cast out. They feel a nibble. They pull it up. There's nothing there. And they go, no, I seriously just hate fish.
Dang, and literally what happens is this jack dude, clean room at home, fishing, nothing. 3 more weeks.
And they go, how do you do it, man? And you just have to clean your room. You just got to have better bait. You go back out there with better bait. And it's like, what are you using? Yeah. And you're like, I'm using prawns. And then they go out there with prawns and they chuck it in and they don't catch anything.
This is literally the dilemma, which is crazy.
Yeah.
I can't imagine. Like, it's the reality.
I think it's an anxiety thing and mixed with ego.
Or is it just a reality thing?
I think it might be, but I mean, I'm hypothesizing.
Yeah.
It might be like like an ego thing. I've met dudes with crazy standards, and it's just like you're never gonna.
Oh, I don't even know. I
It's
think
like,
that
I'm
may have
anxious-
existed 10 years ago. I think dudes are like, give me someone.
I don't think so.
I really think so. It's like, I can't get anyone here.
Really?
Yeah.
You've met dudes like this?
Yeah. It's like, I can't get one thing. One woman to talk to me. I feel this is the plight of like a lot of men. And it's the whole idea that, okay, it goes down to that fishing analogy. You can even get a fish and be like, oh, that's just a tiny fish. I can't eat that. Or you get that and it's like, oh, that's not even like a, yeah, no, I'm not going to get that. That's barely a fish.
Yeah.
You would keep going. But what happens when you literally do put your line out and get absolutely nothing? That's when you start going crazy. That's when you start questioning and be like, what's going on with the system? What's going on with everything here? And why are there hundreds of dudes who are having the same experience fishing that I am? And why do they all see this guy next to them get 3 fish with 1 rod?
Are incels in the friend zone, or they're not even? They can't even.
They
communicate?
can't even communicate. They've never talked to a woman.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
They're the ones that are being like a little bit too picky. They're
I
like,
don't think they're being
yeah,
picky.
Oh yeah, you're my friend. Like a chick being like, yeah, you're my friend.
Yeah.
You're looking for a girl. I've got this friend.
No, I don't think so. I don't, because I think if an incel had that, they would jump on it straight away. And then there's become like a bit of a loser. Because I think the dudes who are like really picky just become losers. I think the incels are a new thing.
Yeah.
I think that does come from social media and the rise of the dating apps who get nothing. Literally get nothing.
Right.
And that's where a problem happens. That's where Jordan Peterson's crying on Piers Morgan because he can empathize with that person.
Is Jordan Peterson great?
Is Jordan Peterson great?
I think he's pretty great.
I think I heard a good take. My brother had a really good take. He thinks that gay people are. Yeah, I don't know what joke you're gonna make. I want you to make it. He thinks that gay people are just mentally ill and aren't real. And
Who?
I mean, sorry, trans people aren't real and are
Who?
mentally. Jordan Peterson. Trans people are mentally ill and don't exist, and gay people are an abomination.
Well, I guess I must be Jordan Peterson. No, he does. He doesn't think that.
He does.
He doesn't think that.
He does.
You
That's
don't-
the awkward
You don't
thing.
know JP like I know JP.
I know. You don't know JP, but like I know JP. And this is the thing. I had this thing with my brother, and I was like, oh, he's pretty good. And he's like, well, is he good if he thinks that?
I don't think he thinks that.
He does, though.
Oh, okay.
Like, it's not even a question.
All right.
No, but it's it's not even.
All right, man. Who are you trying to convince here?
But it is an awkward thing when he does have these beliefs, because basically you can take 99% of the good that he does.
Yep.
But he does have this 1% where he does think that gay people are an abomination, and he does think trans people don't exist and aren't real and are mentally ill. He's like, well, I believe that, but I also believe that in helping men and kind of...
He's an old guy.
Yeah, he's an old guy.
So
A lot of old guys feel the same way he does. But is that a problem? Can you say someone's great when they have those viewpoints? Because I was doing this, I was like... I think it was the Majority Report who were this like very well-read, influential kind of like left-wing YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And they were just watching the Jordan Peterson thing and laughing at it. And I was like, I don't know why you need to laugh at it.
Yeah.
And then there was, I think my brother's take was, well, you kind of do have to laugh at him if he has those beliefs. Because that's a real problem. That's a real problem to think like that. And can you treat someone normally when they have those beliefs?
Right.
I guess it's a bit like the Gandhi thing. Like if Gandhi hated black people, can we look past that? I don't think a lot of people can nowadays. Gandhi's basically been cancelled.
Yeah.
Hitler had some great ideas, but he hated Jewish people. We can't look past that anymore.
Anymore.
Yeah, do you know what I mean?
Right.
But this is the world we're kind of living in. And is it a good or a bad thing? Is it good to be like, sorry, buddy, if you're going to have those real backwards ideas, we can't really be on board with anything you say.
Well, I think the problem is short attention spans. Instead of like taking in like a whole kind of narrative or something like that.
Yeah.
It's just it's polarizing. It's more polarizing than it should be.
Yeah.
Naturally. Like if someone's in front of you, if you see someone's Facebook status, it's like offensive. That portrays a certain thing. But if you're in the middle of a conversation with them and they drop something like that, you'll be like, why do you think that? And then you hear it and be like, oh, okay.
I don't think it's that simple though.
If I saw some of the stuff that our friends, or even we say, you know, just laid out on someone's Facebook thing,
It's a bit different though, because like what happens with the Jordan Petersons and the Gandhis? You kind of literally brought up this question, and it's like, I'm not being funny. I'm not kind of, what is it called? Exaggerating here. I do think gay people are an abomination, and that's just how it is. They shouldn't exist. They should have wives.
I don't think
He has, and same with the trans thing. And it is awkward because it never goes away, and it's like, and even when you see it get brought up again and again, it's like, can we stop talking about the trans thing? I feel like this. Let's talk about other things. How about we talk about something productive?
What if Jordan Peterson brought out a statement? He's like, all right, look, I've done some more research into it, and trans people are actually, they're valid. Gay people are valid.
Yeah.
And you shouldn't clean your room. It should actually be messy.
It's like, why'd you have to say that, Jordan? It's like, no, we're living in a backwards world. You don't have to clean your room. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to bloody do anything anymore.
You can do anything you bloody well please.
Because I'm going to... There's no one without the other. But yeah, that's the awkward thing with these characters.
Oh, actually, yeah. Yeah, I mean, the Brotherhood. So yeah, we were talking about, I was saying I want to get on the dude that's the head of the Brotherhood.
Yes.
But at the same time, I'd be afraid to sit in a room with both of you. Because you've been listening to a lot of Andrew Tate.
I have.
And I'm easily radicalized.
I've been listening to a lot of Andrew Tate, but I'm realizing more and more how much of a big lefty I am. Literally at the same time.
Yeah.
And I would love to have a conversation with someone like that. With him, with our boy from the Brotherhood.
Yeah.
Because what happens is it's all good. It all seems great on paper until you look. It's like the Jordan Peterson thing. It's like, yeah, we just want men to be better in this, happier, healthier, da-da-da-da-da. But we hate women.
Yeah.
That's kind of our thing, that we're going to keep that.
Yeah, it sucks, obviously. It's It's not conducive to a good thing. Yeah.
Because I think nothing's perfect. I wish he would come out and be like, yeah, nothing's perfect. We all have to have our flaws.
Who?
Or people.
Oh.
The Gandhi has to exist.
Yeah.
Jesus would have had a thing or two to say about trans people, potentially. Or he would have had a group that he ostracized.
I think Jesus was down for anything.
He seemed to be down for everything, but I'm sure there would have been the thing that people couldn't have gotten on board with. There's no perfect human.
No, because perfect doesn't exist.
Yeah, perfect doesn't exist.
Yeah, except for Jesus.
And the idea of Jesus was, I guess, perfect. What was the idea of Jesus? Imagine if he just hated Muslims.
Yeah.
If we really had that discussion.
Well, he wasn't around.
What if he called them sand N-words? What if that was just a thing?
Yeah.
And what if that was literally taken from
then I guess you can call me Jesus.
But what if that was literally in the Bible? There is like some clash, and then that is like, then Jesus said, "You stay away from me, you sand, and words. It would be great. It would be really funny.
What if he, like, what if Jesus got resurrected
Yeah.
and he came out of the cave? And they're like, Jesus, you all right? He's like, yeah, why wouldn't I be? And they're like, what happened? You're meant to lead us.
Yeah.
What about the word of God? Yeah, something.
Where's this bit going? I like that. I like this bit. I was actually really on board for it.
Jesus.
Yeah, what does he say? I'm literally completely invested. We could probably even end on this one as well.
What if... Oh, my daddy's ringing.
Oh.
What if... Daddy.
Daddy.
What if Jesus...
Your daddy's ringing.
What if Jesus is like... he comes out of the cave...
Yeah.
And he's like...
Oh, I'm good.
How was it?
Yeah.
And he's like... They're like, oh, Jesus, you're back. And he's like, yeah, I guess I am. And they're like... Oh, what about... Yeah, whatever.
I was going to say, so Jesus, you're back. He's like, yeah, I am. He's like, how come it's been all this time? He's like, I heard Meg Thee Stallion has a concert in Sydney.
Beautiful.
There we go.
There we go.
I'm going to go there. I'm going to watch and I'm going to masturbate in the crowd. It was like, Jesus, you really can't do that stuff anymore. It's like, what? She's asking for it. Look what she's wearing. What am I meant to do? Just watch the performance?
Thank you very much,
There
ladies
we go,
and gentlemen.
Everyone.
We have been the Sausage Boys podcast, and we'll be back next week
Yes.
with a whole new episode. Thank you very much. Join the Brotherhood.
And get your tickets for Meg Thee Stallion on sale.